audio check. We're going to run an audio check. Good morning. I want my hour back. All right, that's working. I need to try and change a setting or two on here. I probably cannot. Okay, either way, does not matter. Hello all. This is a big day for me. I really been thinking about what's going on with Velotric and their bikes. And I like it, and I think that I want to keep this thing around. So, of course, I have a tendency to do the dual battery thing, and for a while I stayed out of Velotric just because of the wiring orientation. And you've got the IPX7 on the battery, 6 on the bike, and you've seen Scott throw it in water. I've taken a full Velotric battery, not electric battery, and thrown it in a bucket of water. I didn't throw it, I set it in a bucket of water and pulled it out, blew it off, and put it in the bike and went about my business. So I'm really intrigued by all that stuff. Inside a Velotric group, I got wind of a dual battery GOMAD, which is coming, and you know who you are. I appreciate you. With that being said, I got the notice from Zach at Tampa Bay E-Bikes. He's like, hey, I'm like, well, I can, I'm gonna try it. I'll see what I can do. Can I, check your bike just to see what's up? And before I even did that, I just pulled the D3 and opened it up. Hadn't been inside it yet, and I just wanted to see. And then I went about the business of modifying the battery plate, and I used a DX2, and I'm gonna take this off and show you guys some of that. But yesterday I was successfully able to do 5 miles, no EO3 error. And when I came back, I did a voltage test on this battery. Funny thing about Velotric, at the factory state, you have to pull the battery mount off and do your voltage tests through the pins, because they've made a joint at pin 5 and 6 on the battery mount. And so the purple wire is connected to the negative cable. So I believe it loops through. And so that's interesting. Either way, I'm gonna pull this apart. That's the point of all this. But before I go there, I just wanted to show you guys what FedEx did to a bike. So this is a Magician Alpha. It was sent to me in an Uber by a customer about an hour and a half away. And it got here and I was like, what's wrong with this thing? And you start looking at it and you can see that the rack has been smashed down. But you start looking a little further and you see that it's caved in right here. And then you look a little further and you're just like, this is bent. Something came down hard on this. All spacing between the fender and the wheel is gone. It's gonna need a new triangle and a rear rack. It's nuts. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this thing apart so you guys can see what's up. Get in here. Brad, good morning. Riding Retired, good morning. Gaminator, good morning. Ed, that was an experience. I enjoyed every bit. Let me see this thing. I enjoyed putting away the cold weather clothes. Michael J. Stroh, I broke the Velotric code. I was motivated to do it, but I don't believe that we've broken the fold code yet. I think the fold is inside the battery mount. It's in the lower plate of the battery like this, as I recall. So we got to figure that out. And that likely that controller is potted. So not there yet, but these bad boys, I've done the D1, which was a gruesome endeavor. I cut into that. I had to cut into this, and likely this is the same for the D2. So hold the phone. First message is to Velotrix. I wholly acknowledge that this is a warranty killer. I have killed the IPX rating, and it must be trusted that I used 14 AWG wiring through and through, and it matches the resistance levels of the premium wiring that is used on your connectors. And I recognize that I take full responsibility of this. Please know, the only reason I'm doing it is because this bike is the shit. Okay? I have ridden it quite a bit since the review video, and I really like it. Like, it is a good get around. Even with this second battery on here, it's super light. It's just nice. And I know, you know, people say, well, what about the Breeze or something like, no, right here, right? Motor's good, speed's good. I get access to the custom setting. You know, I take responsibility for the thing that I set up inside those settings. So yes, and the color. So please know that I respect the bike and I understand what I've done, and that will be a forefront to any video. That being said, 2 years on the warranty puts people in a position to where, you know, that desire to have that kind of range with another battery in line is there. And I think you guys know this, and you should do it on the GoMad where that space is, right here. Right? That awkward storage space. That's where the battery goes. You guys put a battery in there, please, yesterday. But all due respect, please don't take this in any other way. That's where we are. I like the bike, and I enjoyed the fact that I got it sent to me and to review, and it has opened up a whole other door for the experience and concentrating on wheel size like this, because this was the very first style bike. It was I had a 27.5 specialized roll. I kitted it with a 500 watt open Bafang kit, and it had an integrated controller on the mount with a 17.5 amp hour battery. It was the bee's knees, and it just kind of fit like this, but it didn't work like this. And so the one thing that aggravated me the most was, one, the limits on the throttle and how that played out without the custom, and then how just tight knit everything was. And the D1, I don't know why in the world it was routed the way it was in the down tube, but it just kind of turned me off to the whole notion of it. But damn if I don't like this thing. This is awesome. It's a two-piece where you don't even have to pull the crank. All right, I'm gonna get to this. That was the disclaimer. All right. If Mike Marmo comes on, kudos to you, my friend. This Lamicall phone holder. Scott actually got me one, and I think I left it in Chicago. But it is very nice. I've finally honed it in. Maybe one day I'll get a fancy rack. There was just enough room to get all this done. I was super stoked to have it run, and I'm anxious. I want to go down to Clearwater today with you guys. I'm just gonna hook everything up, but this is gonna be, it may be a long one, but this is a big deal for me. There's just so much to be said for having a super long range capacity on this bike. I guess we'll call it super. My control constant, I believe, brings it to 55 miles at 20 miles an hour throttle only. And it's probably going to be a struggle for me to put it back. Look at that. That is great. This is great. So there are mounting screws for the controller on the bottom of the bike here. So you'd have to remove those, which means you'd have to remove both plates to really get it done accurately. There is a little bit of flex in here, so you might be able to use a ball end, but I don't know that I would risk it. Just pull the other side. Pulling the other side, however, I believe is a unibody piece, so you've got to pull the crank. I'm sorry. And the chain wheel, but is this a single? No, yeah, you got to do both. Okay. I am going to leave this because the wire, right, it has to be perfectly, it's just, you gotta scissor that in right there, right? And it's gotta sit, and then the plastic piece comes behind it to hold it. So I'm gonna try and leave it, but as you can see, that is a DX2. Now, DX2 is a high efficiency, you can call it a balancer, but in the world of balancers, there's the 40 amp, which you guys, that would be a natural inclination to try and install it on here, but it's not. It's the diode does a little something like this all the time, and it's so fast that it seems that it's instantaneous. But what it's doing is it's doing little increments of voltage, and it's balancing them out. So where every time it's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And in doing so, smart controllers like a Venten, Velotric, Velotric had it down in D2 land, I think. They recognize that and they'll throw an error. And there's also what's going on with the factory battery, but I'm gonna bring you guys up here to show you. So point being, high efficiency DX2 allows for continuous, think of it like a continuous stream of current without the bouncing back and forth. Okay. Good morning, gentlemen. I think a lot of you were watching Sky. I had to go to bed early. Well, hopefully I get to do the ride, Ed. I know a lot of people are dealing with daylight savings time, and this was something like, all of this came about yesterday, so if Jeremy sees this video, thank you for, I know you came over, man, and I was not trying to ignore you, but we chilled, and then I did this install just to see if I could. I did put on my Insta Ace Pro, or not my Ace Pro, but my Insta360 Go Ultra. So I had it on the camera on the bill of my hat. So I have the footage of me doing what I did here. Before I do that, I'm gonna unplug this battery. Yes, this is a real electric battery, but it's just a simple 48 volt, 14 amp hours, just under max cap on any of the spec Velotric batteries. Plus I had the strappy dudes already hooked up. Okay. So I did not screw in the base plate, last time when I went to check because I wanted to be able to get in through here. And then now it's advantageous because I can show you guys. So the very first thing is you have to take a screw out of here. You can take this whole thing out and it would probably be easier. But in reality, if you just lift up right there, that allows this to slip underneath this cover plate for the wiring. And then the whole of the connector has to be lifted out vertically as it relates to the bike. And then just don't break this. That's all I gotta say. Okay. So from here, right now I'm plugged into the system. So I have basically an intersected battery line right here. I just more or less spliced in an XT60 male-female. If I connected this red wire to this red wire, it would be more or less the same wiring as it was in factory state. So I intersected those. And then for the harness, you can see that you've got these smaller wires that these are how you get your downloads, your metrics, everything, all the stuff that is being read of the battery specifically. One thing to know, the purple wire is actually connected to the negative lead on here. And so that forces you to have this in hand. Let's see if I can do this. Scott, I'm feeling this burning desire to be in your workshop. But it sure is nice to just get into the yard. And today is a perfect day. I don't even know. I think it's like high 60s right now, gonna be 70s, maybe the low 80s by the end of the day. Privileged life. Okay. Sorry guys, delay. So make sure you just match it up correctly. There we are. I have to make sure to create the connection as factory, which is here. It's hard to hold. I'm gonna try and get you guys so you can see it. There it is. But, right, you're like, okay, cool, just do it off the battery. There's positive, there's negative. Nada. You can't. So that's the first thing. So this is what it is. These two are actually in the 40 amp kit that we sell. Or it's not the 40 amp kit, they're actually in the DX2 kit that we sell. So these are bullet connectors. I sacrificed the bullet connectors. I cut right up against the very edge of the bullet and then sacrificed these 14 AWG with XT60 connections and then put them, like there was the length of this cable and I just sliced down and unsheathed it and then I cut right in the middle of the red and black wires. And then on these connectors, when they were loose, I cut off the bullet ends right at the head of the bullet, and then I solder sealed them together. And then the reason I have it like this is that the body of these wires will actually be a rigid stability point for these finer cables here. So I can sit here and fumble around with it and pull it loose and show you guys without worrying about that I'm gonna rip these out. You can actually see the solder seal connectors right here. And that's the solder there. But you've seen me do, if you've watched any of the videos, you know that I've done it a few times. So the tolerances are really thin for the 14 AWG solder seal connectors, so just be there, but it works perfect. It's fine. Everything's fine. It was great. I smiled the whole way through. I couldn't believe it was happening. And when the bike lit up and I was able to run it, I was super duper happy. All right, so I'm gonna put this back in. So the orientation of the cables makes it so you can't really mess it up. You just have to make sure that you know that what comes out of this connects to a male XT60 connector, which is actually the female pins, and you're good to go. And that's the orientation for almost every battery you'll ever get in the aftermarket, right? It's always gonna have the male XT60, which is the female pin version, off the body. And if it's changed, it's because that company wants to isolate the use of their batteries to them and them alone. Or they don't want anybody hooking up what they deem is not compatible, which could be just set to their specs and safety standards. Lift this up so this can go straight down. That's that. Make sure this is over, everything looks good. I'm just gonna lock it in. I have to come back and get all the other footage. So I was in one of those discovery states and I didn't record it like I would one of my install videos, but I got enough footage out of it that I can just overlay it. So I'll bring you guys in like this conversation and make a real install video. All right, so another thing to keep in mind here is that the notion of the voltage and what we're doing inside this battery, and this is all based on just an assumption on how this is programmed. Both batteries must be at the same charge state. They must be full before you go about turning it on and running it. I've not tested this, but if you have feedback and your bike is reading voltage and you have a drop in voltage of the main battery over the secondary battery and it's reading from the BMS, you're gonna have a problem. So right now, what I would hypothesize and best explain is happening is at a full charge state, you have 54.6 volts, 54.6 volts. We cut into the power lines, which the metric that there's being read off the power lines is voltage. And so long as your batteries start at the same charge rate on a DX2 with a high efficiency discharge, which allows basically the visualization of both like continuous flow, and it's not this back and forth thing that you get with a 40 amp balancer, which works just fine. So don't anybody worry about that. It just doesn't work on a bike like this. So it's reading voltage, and so long as they're at the same charge rate, they'll discharge to low voltage cutoff. You independently charge them. You don't have to disconnect anything, but they both have their own charger. This one's a 3 amp, so it's going to be quicker than one like this, which is a 2 amp, and you should be fine. I did pull out and turn the bike on with this battery alone, without this battery, and it throws error E03, error E03. And it has to do with the connection of the 3 lines that are there, and you saw that the purple provides some, it's like a loop. So yeah, that. Salty Rider, what do you mean problem? Did I say problem? I think I explained it. I hope I explained it. Somebody give me feedback on if that was explained all right. Rob, yeah. I mean, this is one of those, I explained purpose, but honestly, just as I do the install videos, just do it step by step. Make sure you follow the rules, right? That's it. Both batteries charged before you start trying to turn the bike on and riding it. Make sure you use both batteries in line together with the DX2 until they're dead, and everything should be there. The idea is that it doesn't know that you've attached a second gas tank because it's only reading voltage. That's the concept. But if you take the level of the second one down too far and try and power, or actually if the second one is a higher voltage than the main battery, then it's gonna read a differential that's not gonna work. Something's wrong, and the BMS will throw a flag and then it'll error out. Just do what I said. Well, we'll see. Y'all don't do this until later. Actually, wait until your warranty's over. Where did I set my wrench? There it is. So I will definitely try and go through the finer points of this, but there's only so much room down here and out the back that will work. I'll try and show as much as I can in the real install video. I did warn you guys, you would watch me struggle. What I may do is just leave this one out. You know, it was a pain the first time. It just has to do with the alignment and the wires on the backside. And honestly, I wouldn't even hesitate to modify it a little bit to open it up. I'm not afraid to admit that a cleaner look would be just putting a battery on the rear rack. And this has MIK too, so it would be nice. Ooh-wee. Got them all. Perfect. Okay. Morning, Scott. No. Jeff, no problem. Appreciate you looking out for us. Most everybody here, like, it's almost like Sunday morning breakfast. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what we do. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I try and, these things I like to keep for, you know, just the fun aspect, but it's also, you guys appreciate these things. You understand where I'm at in my headspace when I'm doing it. I'm always wary. I know the companies don't like it, but I would imagine, I guess an inner hope might be that they use what I do to try and, like, it's like a cat and mouse game. But at the same time, I don't hope that, because then I'd have to make money by doing reviews. And I don't make money. I just get the bikes. Wait, I did get paid with Scott when we did the hill. Steepest hill in America. So these are the bottle cage strap adapters from Bike Case. You guys have seen me use these before. I like to get them on here, maybe like 2 or 3 phases of tightening based on the dual strap aspect of it. But I just pull tight so that it compresses the cup. Right? But then you have this. So now I use a double setup. These are the 2-inch versions. There's a twin pack of the 1-inch, which honestly they work fine. But I like these big fat 2-inch, but they come as singles. So I've got 2 of them. So what you do is you double them up. I just doubled back on one. and you just use this as the cinch. And then I just slip in the excess in between the loop. That way I don't have to cut it off, but you can cut them. And then it's on there. All right. So from here, of course, I would not leave this. I would use Tidy Helper cable clips. I would try and run a nice line. However, leaving this loose might be essential if you need to pull this battery, but you guys, if you use this setup, it's an easy detach. Honestly though, I would loop this up, get it in the rear rack bag and be done with it. I mean, you can lay a battery like this down in like the e-bike battery bag and it's not a problem. It's not MIK. The e-bike battery bag is not MIK. But if you get a big enough rear rack bag, you can put one in there and then have like pannier bags, all sorts of stuff. And since I'm gonna try and take this to Clearwater, I'm gonna go ahead and give it another one, just so it doesn't flip out when if I attempt to pedal, which I'm probably not. I need to test this under throttle. I'm nervous. Makes me nervous. Oh man. How y'all feeling? What are y'all doing? Y'all doing, are you doing the review today, Scott? Yes, Salty Riders. I'll show you. I'll show you the Scientology buildings if you want. Or I'll point them out as we're on our way. So let me do this. Trying to calm myself. I'm gonna put all this stuff away and then I'm gonna put the chest mount on and then get the Wi-Fi set up or the cellular connection set up so we can get out of here. All right. Hey Scott, I know you're probably not gonna come back and watch this, but look at this triangle right here. Look at this bend and the compressed piping on that rear. It's an Alpha step through. FedEx special. Okay. So light. Oh my gosh. I'm so used to picking up those Alphas. we're good. So what happened to the magician? It was a customer of Magicians in Bradenton. They're like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And so instead of like take the whole shipment back, they just sent it to me to deal with. And I said I would do it. And so it came in an Uber, in the back of a Uber XL. I would guess upwards of $200 by the end of the ride and a proper tip. But I kept myself out of that part of the transaction, so I didn't get any flack about it. I was just the receiver of said product. I flipped it up for you, Scott, and then I've rolled the different connector from the stuff that's sent with this mount. We'll see how it goes. All right. Actually, I need to, did I do what I think I did? No. Y'all give me a second. I need to get another battery. I'm here. Don't leave. So now I'm going to see about having that as my backup. I have my mic ready. Dun, 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 dun. Instantly feel it different with the weight of the phone. All right. If you use one of the newer electric batteries, you got to wake it up. So that's press the button. Keep that in mind with others. Make sure that this thing is on. There's no real way to test. So you just got to turn it on. Okay. Now, Lord, here we go. All right, you guys hang tight. If I've developed a skill set to resume, if this goes to the wayside, I will try and bring it back, and then otherwise I will just start another one because I'm not letting this event go. All right, you guys, let me know if you're still here, please. All right, here, perfect. Thank you guys. I may have to do this in another way. I don't know if it's gonna let me hook up. Nope, it's not. So this is it. I'm riding this way. I won't be able to see the chat, so you guys be good. All right, perfect. You know what's up? So what's happening is I've probably been blocked out by some degree of responsibility for excess cellular usage. So it is what it is. That being said, I'm gonna go here. I know that this battery is on, and then we're gonna go. Maybe. Oh, I took it to class 1. I got to redo the settings because I killed the power. Let me see if I can do this. Like settings, custom. Set up a new, the power output would change if you change the riding mode. Confirm. Okay. Experience. We got turbo. Throttle sync to neither. Auto power off. Ride tuning. Assisted start. I like all this. It's very nice. And then can I reset the trip here? Or is that only on the display? Clear trip data. We will clear. Let's go back. Start ride. All right, guys. I'm here. I'm going. This is what's up. Morning, sir. What's up, brother? How are you? Dun, 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 dun. The custom mode to 28 on throttle changes everything, really. Just, it's a whole different situation with this bike. And I'm very happy about it. Hello. And we're off. No errors. That is the key here. No errors. When we get back, I will try and test out the voltage, and I'll stop periodically to check the chat. I'm definitely curious what's going on with my hotspot. But I know that I have eaten up a ton of data, so probably been blocked. I can only imagine. This thing does check out, let's see. Yeah, it does. That's a separate GPS, and then this is display on bike, and the speed on this thing is pretty daggum accurate. And it's always nice when you don't have to reset wheel diameters. So if you're just now getting here and you're wondering why are we watching this guy ride around on an e-bike, it is because I believe we've successfully added a second battery to a Velotric Discover bike, which is a pretty big damn deal. We also recognize that attempting this in any manner, fashion otherwise than recommended by the manufacturer is to say your warranty is null and void right here and there. But for those that might be running into the end of their warranty period on the D2s, I think this might be a viable option. I'm going to be on your left. That is a real dog. That's awesome. I thought it was a stuffed animal at first. She had a dog in her front basket. All right, I will pull the camera from my chest and check the chat when I get to the next major intersection, if it's at a stop. Otherwise, I'll go through it and then I'll check on the other side. Three, 4, 5. This is, man, I think this bike's gonna be around for a while. I really like the D3. It's just, it's nice. It's really nice. Good places to lock it are lacking, though. I think that is something that a lot of these companies need to incorporate. Like, there's those fancy wheel locks, like Rad did them, where it's a bolt right through there, so you just can't move it. But honestly, I think just a factory frame mount position that allows you to simply hook up something would be really nice. So, yeah, look at this. This thing is going to change shortly. All the beachgoers. This is the road out to Honeymoon Island. So everybody's going to the beach. It is super nice. Yeah. Let me see here. See what you guys are up to. I'll try and see if I can get it to hotspot again real quick too. Perfect. Not Chicago weather. That is that is very true. Okay, you guys stick with me. I'm gonna try and see if I can get a connection. Yeah, something's going on. Can't do anything about it. So this is what it is. I think it's looking all right. From what I can see, look at that Blue Jay. Look at that thing. So in the map, we're going down here. And we're off. And then, yes, go ahead and do that. Apple Health. So if you pull data off of your Apple Health for any of your workouts, etc., it will read your heart rate, and then you can actually sync that to the ride within Velotric, and then use that for your health metrics if that's the kind of diligent rider you are. Like your bike? Those things, I think I picked one of those up for $600, brand new. It's a rad, rad something. Oh, I don't remember the name. Like your bike? The Denagos. dun, dun. It's a shame that I don't play golf. I don't play golf at all. I'm left-handed, and I'm like a long torso, so the clubs were always awkward when trying to size. And who wants to drop that amount of money on clubs when you don't even know, right? Golf. And to my knowledge, it's a sport of anguish, right? You are just, it's always a test. There's never, like, the feel good can sometimes not come for a long time. And it's just a reminder, it's like, oh, you're mediocre. There's a mediocre line set, and if you can't meet it, it's just like, you suck. Like your bike, those 4.0s. Good for them. I wonder if they know about this YouTube channel called ElectricAllWheel. Like your bike, ride one up. Mock wheel, that was a variety. Velotric Discover One, ride one up, mock wheel. Let's see here. Chuck, how would I rate this versus the Ave Santa Monica? It's pretty awesome. I think that I would get this bike, honestly. This is the one. I don't know how that just happened, honestly.
You're cold. No, I destroyed my skin and now I'm trying to repair it. Where'd you guys ride? What group did you guys do? Too far, Tampa. Too far.
That is not the crew I want to be behind. Like your bike? And he sneered, but they had just rolled up and went 4 wide, and they would have held it too. So, let me see if I can recall some things from last night's live with Brad and Scott. Yes, it was cold. Yes, it was 30 degrees when I was in Chicago, but I did the damn thing. So there's that. Yes, there was a whole other live ride session, and yes, I deleted it, and I have no qualms about it. A lot of you guys were there, so it doesn't matter anyway. And yes, that dude was a douche, and yes, he's called Scott a libtard. And if you know me, you can see the irony in it, but I still think it's funny. It's funny as hell. So it was an interesting set of events. The guy just walking right down the middle of the way, didn't give a crap, right? And then instantaneously, you know, he actually had come, I'm pretty sure he rubbed the couple that were on the right-hand side of him and didn't acknowledge them at all. And then just held the center line and kept going after he had passed them. And it was just, guy was a douche. What was the word, the Dash E-Bikes? I was looking at how ugly it was, and then I was like, wait. I think I would have told him it's a nice bike. Pretty much everybody has a nice bike. I don't mind taking my root beer with an umbrella. However, I will need better ice, just in case anybody's listening. You can't be doing, you know, ice out of the fridge. It's got to be a nice spherical shape, smooth as it gets. Or I'll take a cube, a big cube, properly glassed, I've been known, however, to do umbrella drinks, especially if I'm on vacation, which ironically I like to do vacations to tropical locations, which, whatever, but it's, I don't know, it's what pops up in my head. I think I need to do the snow thing before I just can't with my body. I'd love to snowboard. I used to wakeboard, but just really thrashed myself doing that. And then it was all capped by a couple of fateful incidents on a basketball court. Or first it was my knee, and then first it was my shoulder, and then it was my knee. So at that point, I just said, I'm done. And that lasted for a little bit, but I wanted exercise, and then along come e-bikes. Look at them big sirs. I like your bike. I may have to do that. Girl Scout cookies. All right, we're working on halfway there. We're coming through Dunedin, Florida. It's worth a look up if you're just chilling. It's a unique town. They have, in my world, the thing that stands out for them is they are independent of the water system that is pretty well known for the entire area. Now, you guys have to understand that this spot, this whole Pinellas County peninsula is a lot. It's the most populous county in the United States, if I know correctly. And then the whole of the area is for Tampa Bay. So they call all of it Tampa Bay. And Tampa is actually across the water. There are 3 main bridges that connect us, and that's the deal. But the thing that stands out in my life, because of my career, is that they have an independent water system, and it's well water. Very dependent on the Florida aquifer. Many wells dotted throughout the city, but in relation to how big it is, it's like Pinellas County, it just dwarfs it. But very, very popular place, high tourist population rolling through Dunedin, and it's also where Tampa Bay E-Bikes is. Like your bike, Electric XP 1.0. X-Peak, not XP, X-Peak. Let's see, the older you get, the more you don't like the cold. Yes. I will take ice in the shape of the Death Star, for sure. Rob, yes, that is an excellent question, my friend. Yes, I do like the swept-back bars. I thought that I wouldn't, and I do. I'm going to be on your left. I'm going to be on your left. On your left. Go here. Like your bike. Amyet 26.4. Like your bike. That's a mock wheel. What was that? I can't even remember that. See that Eeyore over there with a 50 plus amp hour battery? Freaking ridiculous. There's a Santa Monica right there. Look at that. Did I answer that question? No. I think maybe I like this more. It's been a while since I was on the Ave Santa Monica, and as I recall, they both have swept handlebars. Actually, you know what? When in Rome, why not? Hold, please. We'll do this right here, right now. straightaway turn signals, right? Look at them turn signals. The Fang system, so there's just the known, right? And then look at the seat. The seat is pretty badass. And then you have the swept bars. That can be programmed with the BSST. This can be straight install because they have an XT60 on it. So we heard earlier that you just plug in the DX2 and it goes. No suspension seat post. So suspension seat post. And I think the integration of the app and stuff, though I have rejected in previous notions, I do like the way this works. And the suspension seat post is a must. And this thing, like this cap, though it is plastic, I really like it. The housing over the controller, it's a good deal, right? After that, I do like the Chow Yangs. They've got that street tire look. Prefer MIK, so that's a thing too. So I don't have access to the chat, you guys, so it's a stop every time, so keep that in mind. I may or may not be able to respond. As I know it, there have been a few e-bike reviewers in the chat, so they can probably help you out, or if they've been here for the majority of the morning, they can answer what I've already answered. My seat twisted. Good morning. Santa Monica, the AMA Santa Monica gives like that true beast cruiser feel. This swept notion on the Discover 3 it's natural. It feels natural. Thank you, sir. I thought it would bunch up my shoulders. It does not. So we are now in downtown Dunedin, halfway on the distance that I showed you. We are headed to Clearwater, battery percentage 92. Thank you.
I'll do Monday.
Gonna be on your left. Good morning. Like your bike?
Got a certification.
She had that trick. And a nice one. Let's see, there we go. Let's get it. Thank you. I wonder, is there a baseball game today, like spring training or something? Maybe the Blue Jays stadium is there for however long the Canadians feel like they're going to be a welcome in Florida. Yes. I think there is a game. I'm pretty sure. It's the remnants of all the parking. I'm going to be on your left. Oh, this is not, what is going on here? Huh. Sweatbacks. Like your bike? I have no idea what that was. That was like custom. It looked like a Sweep 6 frame or that cheaper Amazon knockoff. Oh yeah, all these parking lots. Yeah, there are a bunch of people out in front of the stadium. You want to go see? Let's go see. Thank you. DJ Stadium. TD Ballpark. It's an interesting place. I didn't realize how many fans there were here in the area, but there are quite a bit. Live chat. Let's see. Ed, I did not enjoy losing the hour, but I'm definitely looking forward to the summer sunshine and the longer days. As soon as we get through the first part of this run around the sun, it's going to be smooth sailing. I need the light. I work outside, so it's important. And despite what everybody says, they wouldn't want it the other way around, but it would suck. Everybody always talks about, oh, daylight savings time sucks. Well, lose the hour and then benefit greatly, or don't lose the hour and suffer it for months. No left 10. Cross over here. Get all up in here. Little bounce. Perfect. The old Lamical phone mount doing its thing. Thank you again, Mike Rochester and Scott Hardesty. I do like the phone mount. All right, here we go. We're back. We are at 90%. I don't know what the trip is doing. Trip distance 5 miles, 5.5 miles. Generally speaking, has been around like the upper teens. Can't get to the 20. There we go. Off like a heart of turtles. No, this thing's fake. I don't mean it that way. And I'm not gonna say it's not terrible, because I say that a lot. As a matter of fact, I really like this bike a lot. I really like it. And in every instance of normalcy, except for my Magician, which I am just treating like absolute garbage, I would never subject a bike to direct contact wetness situation purposely, and then would always just feel confident in the UL and IPX ratings. Once was enough. Oh, wow. Okay. Nice bike. Those are a couple of Aventins. What do we got here? Is that right? A hiker? I don't even know. I don't even know about that. That's a nice one. Doing that horn thing. I don't know if that is a. Not exactly sure. All right, I'm going to be on your left. There it is. And now I'm going to play a game of cat and mouse with this biker behind me. I heard the speed up. And so everything I do from here on out is going to be judged no matter. Too fast, too slow, too this, too that. Oh, he is huffing, trying to catch up. I just did the looky over my shoulder, and he's, yeah. We're out of here. Not dealing with that. Morning. I'm going to be on your left. Thank you. Morning. %. I'd just like to say that there have been no errors. Like your bike? Yeah, that Yamaha. That big deal. Oh my. Kind of fancy. Looky, looky. So we're at 7.5 miles since the trip reset. And we are pretty heavy throttle for a dominant portion of that at high teens, low 20s. 84% is the battery readout. I think I got a winner here. All right, I made a promise of Scientology discovery, so give me a second. I'm going to get back in the chat, see what you guys are up to, and then I'll take you through downtown and point out some of the Scientology things, which is a lot, and then we'll go from there. Good morning, Joey, Gary, Ed, all you guys, Rob, appreciate you. I am still working out this chat thing as well, so either way, if you're just joining in, I've added a second battery to the Velotric Discover 3, and we are on a longer range test ride to see that it's actually viable. And so far, so good. Here we go. All right. All right, so the way this is gonna work is you can pretty much tell by the structure of the building, some of the naming conventions, you start to catch on to a theme. No water. Oh, I don't want to get wet. Okay. So a lot of what they have done and the investment that circles around it is what you see here, like the actual public infrastructure. Downtown Clearwater was, it wasn't great, not gonna lie. Most, if not all, tax dollars were really focused on the Clearwater Beach area, so over the bridge. And downtown was neglected, right? It wasn't a forefront, it wasn't focal to what they wanted. And so you end up with these buildings that were unoccupied. So this is Scientology on my left. And what you'll see, like, look at the sidewalk, right? It's unbelievable. And this is another one. So they just incrementally purchased out a ton of these buildings across the street as Scientology. So every one of them. However, the benefit of it was like it just got clean. It was taken care of. They take care of their stuff. It's not typically the most socially acceptable way to interact, but the area has benefited in just general cleanliness of the public space. And so I would assume there'll be a move for these, if not already owned. All of this here is Scientology. I guarantee that's Scientology now. They're just incrementally buying up the entire area. It's an interesting thing to see. Oh, look at that. I like your bike. Got that Predator. I see you, bro. All right, so we're going to continue down this road. This is Fort Harrison. Now, when they first built out, it was this building over here. And lots of troubles with Clearwater PD. They used to have armed guards on top of the damn building. It was interesting. So that's the flag building. And they purchased on the other side, but most of this is theirs. So we're not gonna go that far. The run over the bridge is up here, so I'm gonna go this way. This is Scientology. I'm pretty sure all of this is Scientology. The newest, like the rumors were Tom Cruise had a penthouse in the top of this one. Not this one here on the right, but right up here. So, I don't know. I don't keep up with it like that. I just know that they are buying up a lot of this area, like gobbling up downtown Clearwater. And so Clearwater has countered, and what you've got now is Coachman Park, and this is on the left. So you can see how beautiful it is with the bridge and everything. And this park is freaking amazing. And this is on the inland side. So Clearwater Beach is across the Intercoastal on the other side of the bridge. So you have Coachman Park, and it's just super, super nice. I like to come down here, come through here for the reviews, hit the bridge for my hill test. Y'all can laugh, I don't care. I'm in short sleeve shirt and shorts right now. And then they built the concert venue, Baycare Sound. I think it's called The Bluff. I think it's the nickname for the area is called The Bluff. Morning. And so you've got the concert venue on my right. On the left is just a huge green space where they have, you know, like markets and all that. And then right over the other end is a tiered walls down to the seawall into the Intercoastal. So yes, Scientology is here. But it's just a mixed bag. I don't, the religion part of it is a whole other conversation. But look, this is great. So let me get over here. I'll stop under the bridge and then we'll get across. I'm at 82%. I'm pretty happy about that. Heads up. Oh no, it's the wheelie kids. The wheelie kids. Bane of our e-bike existence. Here we go. All right, chat, what y'all got to say? Everybody's dropping off. Seen it, been there, done that. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna go across the bridge and just keep going. Looks like everything's still good. So if you're here, you're here. If you're not, you can check back later when it posts to YouTube. And this is all throttle going up this pedestrian on-ramp situation. Hello. Do, 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 do. Sure is pretty. It's a lot nicer when the wind isn't trying to rip your head off. And this is all throttle. I'm just standing up in case you guys can see it. She got this. Looks like an Aventon. I like your bike. Cinch 2, maybe. So on full throttle, custom 28 max, it can only get up to like 13 miles an hour up this bridge. So it does have some merit. And then that bridge, way out yonder, across the water, that one is a much steeper incline. $11.37. That sucks. E-bike. That's why you get an e-bike right there. Walking up to the top of the deck, a Clearwater Bridge. Oh my gosh. Heads up. Wee, bro. That's your phone? Yeah.
I just want to make sure you didn't run over.
Yeah, I saw it when you pointed. I was like, oh my gosh.
Thanks, man.
Looks like it's alive. I hope.
What?
I said, I hope it's alive. Take it easy. I wonder if I can. Motor temp is 240 degrees. Not been nice to it, that's for sure. But there has been no. Like your bike, that was a D1 step through. It's such a nice day. Oh my gosh. 79%. Where are we at on the total trip distance? .5 miles. Gonna be on your right. Like your bike? Mock wheel? They're so amazing. I used to do that on my lunch break. It was great. I had a blow up stand-up paddleboard. and just go out on the water at lunch. Go out before the day started, which is very nice. %, 11 miles at, we'll call it average 20 miles an hour. Full discharge over the bridge. Feeling really good, and no errors. That's the better end of this. No errors at all. I think I am going to call this a good test and circle back. Probably just leave this on. Let's maybe sure. Let me get a beverage. Come with me while I do this thing. Some Krabbies. There it is. Looking damn fine. There. Get this lock out. Turn it off. Hold this. Perfect. Yes, I will. Please and thank you. See if I can do this the right way. Yes. Okay, cool. Y'all, 60 degrees. No, thank you, Joey. I ain't even feeling that. Not at all. Y'all bear with me. I'm going to try and get this ordered. Yes, I am going to get a beer. No. Drinking it? I said I'll be drinking it today. I think I'm gonna have a blue moon when you're ready. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So I'm super excited about this thing. I can't believe that it's working. I wish that it could be easier, right? I understand why a lot of companies are doing connections like this. And if you do this the wrong way and you pop a battery, that's a bad instance on thermal runaway. You don't want that in your life. But so far so good. Downside, you lose warranty, you lose the IPX rating. Oh, thank you very much. And then warranty, IPX rating, and then your second battery won't be on the same standard. I don't really try and treat my bikes in a manner that, of course, except for the Magician Alpha, I really neglected that bike purposely, but just take care of it, you know? And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. I'm super excited. I'll go through, I'll verify the D2, I'll create the video based on the D3, beg for forgiveness from Velotric, and then get it out there. It's gonna be nothing more than the DX2 kit. I'll link that up in the description below. And then an extra set of XT60 extension cables, and there's only one being used from the extra set. I'm happy. That's good stuff. A lot of people have been really see if I can. Oh, hang on. So that back there is the intercoastal, and then out there is the Gulf of Mexico. And if you put Gulf of America in the comments, it ain't gonna change my mind. It's the Gulf of Mexico. It's just nice. I mean, the Red Sea of tent covers is not the best, but it's nice to just walk up and I can still see my bike if I need to take a peek. So yeah, quite a day. I had anticipated putting the 1128 freewheel on the 750 watt aftermarket installation kit for the Electric XP 3.0. Saw and heard, well, I saw it briefly, but heard about it a couple times. One from Zach from Tampa Bay E-Bikes, and he told me that somebody had added a second battery to a Velotric. And I saw it, and that person had actually purchased the components from us. And so I went in and was like, all right, well, maybe it's that way. I hadn't pulled any of that stuff out in the D2 or the D3. And I went about installing a second battery and trying to make sure that I understood how it would play out. And it's working just fine. So I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna head back. The percentage was at 79% when I got here. And I think it's 10 and a half miles at 20 miles an hour, saying at 79%, divide 100 by 5, you get 20, so 20% on. And then 55 miles is the calculation. It's looking pretty accurate. So that is a positive as well. If you go about doing this, like if you watch this over again and you see what's what, there will be an installation video. Just make sure that it's a DX2 that you're using. You can use the bigger ones, but they won't fit, but a DX2 fits in there. And then make sure your batteries are charged completely before you start down this road. And this start at 100% basically lets the factory battery know that it's reading the same voltage. The DX2 allows for a continuous flow of current, and it never knows the difference. The BMS doesn't see anything different other than the voltage, which is the exact same by the principles of the balancer as the factory battery, so it's gonna work. Good day. Okay, let me see if I can see it. Top chat, super chats. I wonder if it'll let me turn this thing. No. It is vacation land, Rob. I don't mind it at all. It does get annoying, but if you come over here on a bike, it's not bad. I'm sorry it's so cold there in Massachusetts. Yeah. Jeff, that sounds like Florida Day, left and right, all day third. Baseball game in the morning, fishing, then into the water. Rob, yeah, that's what's happening. It is paralleling, but it's basically it's masking the second battery, because if the second battery is at the same charge rate as the factory battery where all the connectors are, then that means that voltage would be the thing that threw it off. And so if the voltage for both batteries is the same and the balancer discharges equal flow without the bounce back and forth from the diodes, the factory battery will never know any different. So if voltage is the readout and back to the system, then the voltage is the same, so it can just pull the rest of the metrics from the factory battery and be happy as a clam. And that's how that works. There are a boatload of Velotric Discovers out there, and I've had so many people ask if this can be done, and I was like, no, they got their own connectors. You have to be adventurous to do this, I know that. To cut in like that, you've got to be careful with the harness while you're doing it, so you don't pull the soldered leads off the pins, and then you got to make sure that you stiffen it up when you're done. And so there's that, and then you need the access connection, and then you need to be able to take it out, right? What do you do when it's over? So that's important too. So that's why I like to intersect and then just immediately plug it back in, so I test as factory connections, which is a big deal. Typically on the a bike like electric, you just unplug and it goes back to factory, and even the AIMA Santa Monica, by virtue of the XT60s. But for this, like Velotric don't play. The first time I really ever saw it like that was with an Aventon Adventure V2, and they did a direct connect to the pins off of the controller. So what came out of the controller was like a 5-pin connector into the battery straight away. There was no intersect. So when you had to replace the controller, you were replacing the pins out of the plate as well. It's awkward. I did not like it. It's not, is that the V2? I don't remember what Aventon bike that was, to be honest, but I remember it was a pain. Going to Vegas, in case you guys are wondering, going to Cabda. Hopefully I'll get to meet some of these people from Velotric. I'd like to have a conversation. Honestly, I want to meet their engineers. Rob, you the best, bro. Thank you. Hey, that's awesome. Give that the heart, because we had strong feelings about the heart last night. Scott and Brad were talking on their live about the thumbs down, and I have one of those people too. I have a person that comes into the videos and immediately gives me a thumbs down. It doesn't matter. It did matter. I started to notice that it mattered for specific brands, which became very apparent that it might be somebody. I don't know. I always thought it was Electrified Latina, to be honest. She deserved no quarter. I'm not trying to be mean. She's some kind of something. And we did very well as a community, not allowing her voice to, like, we shut down her name, like we didn't. It was well played. Only in like these isolated circumstances, live, non-monetized, deleted versions, would we speak the name, and even then the reference, you just had to know. But I could be completely wrong. Electrified Latina. She called me a rat, and I made a video. El Rata, I don't know. I may post it one day sometime further down the line in the future. The funny thing is that channel's still gaining subscribers. It's interesting. There's so much people watching you can do. Because the beach is right over there. Right now you've got everyone coming out of the hotels at the morning, everyone getting ready to get on their water tours, everyone that is clamoring for the parking spot for the beach before it fills. It's very predictable Clearwater, which is a far cry from what it is with downtown. It's lazy. I don't think it's lazy, Ed, man. It's not laziness carrying a second battery. It's understanding the need, right? I get all that. The difference comes with the cost of the battery. That's where the real gains will be realized. And batteries that have been proven over the test of time to be good, of good quality, and they work. So that's the benefit for me. I know I have electric battery on here, but I know that I can trust the battery. So yeah, that be the benefit in my eyes. I wish I was a boat guy. I just spend all my just superfluous income on e-bikes. I also really, really wish that Scott says, like, Brandon and I have to go work. Still does. Scott got a Batman helmet. Yeah. Motion sickness activated. Yeah. Salty Rider, I'm working on that. It's gonna be. I haven't quite figured it out. It is refreshingly orange, Ed. It is with hints. What is it? Tannins? I think tannins is what they call them. From yesterday's orange slices, I'm sure. It was pretty gummy. But the apple juice will make me safe. Oh my. It is definitely the beach. I'm gonna turn this around and let you guys see once we get out of here. Oh my gosh. It'll go. All right, hold tight while I pay this tab. I'll be right back. How you doing? I'm gonna close out. My, it's the beach. Sorry about that. Thank you, thank you.
Have a great day.
Motion sickness activate. Here it comes again. Now, the best part about all of this, I mean, it's not cynical or just antagonistic, but it's that it is a electric second battery on this thing. Just, it's awesome. See if I can do this, or if I'm just so totally blocked out. I'm gonna try. No personal hotspot. Torturing me. right. And there we go. We're off. We are now headed back. The trip distance was 11 miles, so we're going to do 22. And you'll know that we've done a good job if we land at over 50%. Is it the TST? TST with the golds? No, but damn sure looked like it. I waved at him. He knows I like his bike. Like your bike? Got that Anioki. There we go. Look at him. Look, I'm just enjoying the day. I do wish I was a boatman. Like ride my e-bike to Clearwater to get on my boat, my electric boat. Yes. So over there is the Clearwater Aquarium, the previous home of Winter the dolphin. Winter has since passed, but Winter the dolphin, I think the claim to fame was the prosthetic rear fin. But yeah. Ruth and Joe Stone Dolphin Complex. They're doing the pictures at the Hogan sign. What are you gonna do, brother? What are you gonna do? I think it's what you're gonna do, but you get the point. Terry Balea, Clearwater local. Not much good to say about his personal life in terms of what I know, but I know he did good as well. So there's that. 76%. We're running 21 miles an hour. Like your bike. And them little Magnum folders. They're super light. I can put them in the back of my car. Doop-a-doo. Don't even know. That was interesting. Look at this ad motor scooter. Like his scooter. Trike. Whatever we're calling it. Whatever that thing is. There. Hulk Hogan Trail. Here we go. Full throttle. I am fully depressed on the left-hand thumb throttle. Headed up the Clearwater Bridge. Started at 18. I'll let you know what we get to. I'm going to stand up.
Drop 14.6, 4, 2. We're gonna hold? No, 13.9, 13.8. Oh, it may hold there. I did let off just a moment at the beginning of this, so probably not true high speed from the jump, but as we reach the crest, the bridge levels out. We are now gaining speed 15, 16. Could have run it to 17, but you guys get the idea. 74%. I was holding it down the whole time. That is the battery percentage now. Going to be on your left. On your left. And then right over there is the pedestrian loop-de-doos that we're getting ready to go down. Going to be on your left. Doop-a-doo. Going to be on your left. Like your bike? I've seen 2 of those mock wheels. Look at the traffic. The traffic is already over this side of the bridge. That's why you get an e-bike, folks. That's what you do. And ironically, the only thing that really keeps that traffic moving is the roundabout at the other end. Otherwise, it would be a freaking nightmare. You have all these like random anomaly situations that show up at the signal lights, and the roundabout is the one thing that saved Clearwater Beach in terms of traffic because it keeps it moving. Baycare Sound, Coachman Park. For the perfect family outing, Electric XP4. It's just a really nice park. It's really nice. Oh my, unicycle? Second that. Scientology to my left. This is where I started earlier. They own a good bit of this area. Scientology. And if I had to bet based on new coat of paint, Scientology. just have not refreshed. So what you'll see is more of what was experienced with Clearwater as we move out, like downtown Clearwater. Mind you, we're on a bike, and this is like the major waterside. This is US 19 alternate, or what will turn into US 19 alternate, going north. And that runs through Dunedin, that runs through Palm Harbor, that runs through Tarpon Springs. So when you get out here, you got a lot of vacant lots, unclear. I do not know the history of that. And then it's just, there's a whole lot of potential here, but it's just fragmented in a way that just doesn't make sense. So I can understand how and why that kind of buy-up would happen. This is a lot more bumpy. I can see the trail, and so I'm just going to double back. So yeah, it's not blight, it's just not been well taken care of with the taxes applied from the city. Most of it goes out to Clearwater Beach to generate the revenue from tourism. It's a nice electric skateboard. %71%. So looking good. We're on our way back. Trip distance 15 miles, 30. So multiply that by 3. You're gonna get 44. Understanding that I've been riding a lot faster than 20 miles an hour, so high current discharge. If you keep it 20 and under, you're going to run 50 plus, but either way, it's doing all right. Motor temperature has got the old yellow. I think it's hot, right? I know this. I don't feel bad. We're torture testing the crap out of this thing. $228 degrees. So yeah, we're doing, this is the deal. It is working. Working? Whatever. Gonna make it back. Well, it was. Yes. That's what I thought. You guys, like, it's showing. Is this working? Does this work? I think it's here. Hell, I don't know. I'm assuming by some of the chat that this thing got lost, and now I'm back. So, okay. I'm just gonna keep going. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your destination. How you doing, bud? The video started. I dual batteried a Velotric Discover 3, and I used electric battery to do it. and I've been going high speed on the custom settings, 28, so that's PAS and throttle, and have gone 20 miles and I'm at 59%. Now you got to imagine that my speed, average speed is 16.1, and that's start stop too. So you know that I've been booking it. And so it's working. Figured it out. So it's using a DX2 kit, dual battery kit, dual input, dual output. Don't use the second output. And you just make sure that your batteries are charged completely before getting in. You do have to cut into the battery mounting plate connector, and that's problematic, I suppose. Of course, that will render your warranty useless. I wholly acknowledge that. What's she got? What's this? What does this seem like you have, lady? You want to race? Just kidding. It's a level. It's got to be a level. Definitely a level. Oh, and she likes riding fast. I like your bike. Got her ear pods in. She don't hear me. That was a Rad City. Rad City 5, I think, is what that was. What we got here? There's a dog. Like your bike? Rad Power Bikes. Coming in at a cool 57%, almost there. I'm so happy. It's working. It's really working. I'm gonna be on your left. Like your bike? Got that Townie Electra. Like your bike? That was the Radster, I think. Pretty sure that's what that was. Rolling a cool 26. Like your bike? D1. Like your bike? Another D1. They got that Magnum Cruiser. Oh my goodness. All the e-bikes. 56%. 21.3 miles. I'm looking for a voltage higher than 48 from both. So I'm gonna get these racked up, I'll test the voltage, and then I'm signing this off because it's time for a pizza. The Sunday special. We are here.
There's that. Take this thing off. Oh my goodness. The only bike rack is a bike rack. That's what you said, right? I'm pretty sure. All right, so what I'm gonna do is check voltage on this stuff. Get out of there. Get in there. We made it. Yeah, for sure. I agree, my man. It is it's an interesting scenario to be doing this, like electric battery on a Velotric bike. But I think in my mind, it's just like this concept can be proven in such a way to really bring it home. And that's the idea, right? Using this battery on the Velotric. So conceptually, it's everything. If you watch any of the videos that we have, we put a lot of different batteries on electric bikes, and they work just fine. But they are not UL certified. I'm looking for above 48 volts. 49. That means it was being used during the ride. That's excellent. That is anticipated. 56% was the readout. That means the factory voltage is at 56 or 49% as well. This goes along with the estimated voltage as I was anticipating it based on what the bike is reading out, which means that this thing is working. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, this is going to be great. Easy, it's not been out of stock. The Rad Hemingway mock wheel has been, you can order the cable separate and just get the universal, or you can get one, a 40 amp on Amazon as well, the universal kit. Oh yeah. Destination Fox. We had a 60 unit batch that wasn't inclusive of enough MOSFETs, and it burnt out on 20 amp installs. That cost us a lot, nearly broke the whole notion of what I was going to do. Within $500, that's where I came. That was that close. We refunded everyone, and as soon as we got the fixes in, we sent everyone that had ordered one a new kit regardless. And I think that's the only thing that really saved ElectricAllWheel at the time. And then from there, CE certification, testing standards beyond the pale, for especially for the 20s and the 40s. And then just, we don't really warrant anything that we don't install in the channel. So that's how, if we're not saying to do it, then don't do it. That's the idea. Easy, the Rad Hemingway cables are separate, I think 20 bucks, and it's actually a cheaper combination if you were to get an extension set because of the pricing rollover. So it's worth it. Get the 40 amp universal plus the Rad Hemingway whatever cables that you're after. And the bike just shut down because of stop moving. I'm so freaking happy, y'all. This is great. I've got to figure out how I'm gonna like produce the video. I'm gonna probably reverse it out. I did take some footage with the Insta360 Go camera on the bill of my hat. When I was doing this install, I did have to cut into it. And then it's a DX2 30 amp nominal, 60 amp max, dual input, dual output balancer inside, 2 cables inside, and then one that runs outside to connect to whatever battery. You don't have to use this battery, any 48 volt battery you want. Make sure it's a good trusted version. Amp hours doesn't matter either. You do not have to match factory. Amp hours is just the size of the gas tank. It has nothing to do with the voltage. So 100% 1000 amp hour battery is still going to be 54.6 volts. That's how that works. I'm going to hang up. I'm hungry and it's time to go for lunch. I appreciate you guys riding out with me. Thank you to all the regulars that are there. You guys go check out Scott and Brad. I'm sure they're on some kind of adventure today. Anyone that came through and rode out this whole thing the entire way, appreciate your dedication. Holy cow. I'm mostly just super happy about how this played out. And we'll see what the future holds for Velotric. I'll talk to you next time.